Nate, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Who's got the first question? We'll start right here.
Hey Nate, when you pitch on Sunday, it's either going to be sending this team to the World Series or keep the season alive. I mean, as a competitor, is that like the peak of opportunities, I guess, to have that? You know?
Yeah. I mean, you said it right there. It's either stay alive or we're going to the World Series. So, I think that's why we set the rotation the way we did and everything the way we lined it all up. Monty's been throwing the ball great. He's on the mound again for us today, and then I got to make sure that I come in ready to go. And I don't think you really change up too much of what we did before. Mechanically, I felt like I was a little off that game, so I feel like I made that adjustment. Hopefully I'll be able to locate my pitches a little bit better, and again go out there and leave it all out there for that game.
Second row on your left, Nate. Here in the second row.
Hey, can you talk to the point that these are the type of games that you always want to be in?
Yes.
This is what you guys live for. Some people might not understand, it'd be so nerve-wracking, but this is what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean, this is it right here. We're 2 wins away from going to the World Series. We're on a really good stretch right there where we won 7 in a row. Monty set the tone, opening up the series, and I was able to follow that up. And we're kind of right back to that situation today. Have Monty go out there, and again, that's what ultimately. I don't know what it is. I enjoy facing the hottest teams. I fully believe that pitching wins championships. We're able to put teams in a funk. Go out there and we set the tone early. You're locating your pitches and you're attacking the hitters. You don't give in. Obviously, you're going to pitch a little differently depending on how aggressive they're going to come out swinging and things like that. But that's what you prepare for and that's what you get ready for.
Coach was asked if this roller coaster season prepared your team for this series. How do you see that? And talk if you could touch on the confidence level that you guys still have at this point.
Yeah, I mean, we've been playing really good baseball. Again, I think it's the pitching. The last 2 games we haven't come out and thrown the ball as well as we've shown that we can. But we've given up the runs early in the game, and I think our offense has done an incredible job in fighting back. I mean, they've given us an opportunity to win every game. Whether it's the 3rd inning or the 7th, they found a way to make it a close game again. And defense has been outstanding. It's just back on the pitching to make sure that we go out there and we do our job and we attack the hitters. And again, I think it starts with the rotation. We're able to go out there and set the tone, and makes that job a little bit easier for the bullpen when they come in.
Fourth row on your left, Dave.
So Nathan, physically, heck, maybe even mentally, the time that you missed earlier in the season, does that turn into any sort of advantage for you? Do you feel like that has maybe allowed you to be a little stronger, a little sharper at this time of year?
Yeah, I mean, I always think I'm a big believer. Again, things happen for a reason. The stretches that we went on earlier in the season, how well we were playing, to having those struggles, to catching fire at this time again. But my body feels great. I had that time off where obviously I'm recovering, trying to get healthy again, but also too to lock in on my mechanics. Sometimes when you're out there and you're pitching and everything's going good, you just kind of keep doing the same thing, even though you may not be feeling great. But I feel really good right now, and locking on my mechanics and stuff again. But I think again, my body's where it needs to be, especially at this point. Innings wise and things like that. I think we just kind of take that and don't even think about it. We're just so focused on there's 6 more wins to go to get to our ultimate goal.
Go up front here with Kennedy.
Nate, when the Astros have as much success in this ballpark, in particular this year and even in the last few years, is that something you guys even think about, or is that something we as the media make too much of?
I don't know. I don't really think about it too much. Again, I think it just comes down to pitching. We got to make sure that we come in locked in from the very, very first pitch. We know that they're an aggressive team. We know that they're capable of driving the ball out of the ballpark, and the last 2 games they've come out swinging right out of the gate. So we got to make sure that we're prepared for that. These next 2 games, and again, I think pitching holds the key for everything. So as long as we're going out there and we're doing our job, it's going to be a big game for us.
Stay right here, Sean.
You mentioned adjustments and facing a team for a second time in one series. Are these adjustments that you make pre-game going into the game, or these adjustments that you're kind of seeing how the game goes and progresses and you go from there?
I think it's more so seeing how the game goes. Obviously, I'll come in with my plan of attack, how I want to attack these guys, see if there's any adjustments I need to make from the last time I faced them for certain batters. But for the most part, go out there and use my strengths again, and kind of react to what they're doing up there at the plate. But I've said it before. They're a very aggressive team. They're really good at making contact with the ball and making things happen. But just gonna keep mixing up my pitches and keeping them off balance.
Fire goes back and left, Steven.
Kind of following up with what Dave was asking you, being out with injury was a little bit of a forced reset, I guess, but at what point when you were building back up without a rehab, did you kind of feel like things were kind of coming back together, and do you kind of feel like you were at the beginning of the year when things were going so well?
Yeah, I definitely feel like I'm where I was at the beginning of the season, like where everything was going really well. Just being able to go deep in the games, especially with them being postseason games, there's a lot on the line. I'm not sure which game it was. It was probably the one after Toronto. I had that start after Toronto, here against Boston. I felt like that one was heading in the right direction. I felt like I started getting back on the right path, and then it was actually the start, my last one against Seattle at their place. Obviously the results weren't the best, but that's probably when I started feeling the best, mechanically and physically, and start trusting those again and going out there and getting back into pitching as opposed to worrying about mechanics and things like that.
Stay back there with Gabe.
Hey Nate, you mentioned keeping hitters in a funk. How hard is it to put a team in a funk when the Astros are swinging it like they are? And is that more challenging in the pitch clock era just because you don't have as many means to sort of slow the game down when a team is rolling?
The pitch clock makes it a little difficult just because there's times where, you feel like you're rushed. Sometimes, or a few of the Astros hitters too, they take their time getting in the box, wait till it's at that 8-second mark, and then they're moving around, and, you just gotta make sure that you've got your pitch and you gotta wait, until they're ready to go. Putting them in a funk, I think it's more so about you attacking the zone. Again, you get strike one, we had too many walks last night, kind of put us in a bad spot, giving them free bases. You gotta make sure that they earn it all, and, ultimately they're gonna end up beating you with the home runs. If you can leave it to singles, you have a better chance, I feel like, of getting that double play ball and getting out of those situations.
Got more from me, Jeff, right here.
So you're from the Houston area, have a home down there, but during the playoffs, do you stay with the team, or do you go check into the house and mow the yard
Yeah.
and fix a faucet or something like that?
In the past, I've always done that, but the kids are both my kids are in school, and we got a new little puppy, so she's been barking a lot. So I've been staying at the hotel. This is my first time I've stayed at the hotel, but no, I've got a lot of friends and family down there, and obviously they'll be going to the games and stuff. But they understand the situation. They're very respectful of it, so it's nice. It's easy.
Anything else for Nate? All right, Nate, thank you so much. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thanks, Nate.